Prepared to start. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We will now officially open this meeting of the Illinois Board of Review for today, April 11th, 2024. Just several preliminary matters before we get into the list of cases for today. One, I just want everyone to be informed, appellants in particular, that this is a formal hearing. So you are to treat the hearing as if you were in the courthouse itself. So you need to be dressed properly. You cannot be reclining in your bed or your easy chair. No eating, smoking. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. We will conduct this as formally as we can so that we can get through this as quickly as possible. Also, these hearings are recorded by a court reporter and by Zoom, but that requires that each of us take turns speaking. It cannot clearly record everyone's voice if you're speaking over one another. So I will insist that we allow the appropriate person to complete a sentence and ask a question before you jump in. That's clearly very important. Also, we have a fairly long list today. We have roughly 72 matters that have been listed. So I'd advise you to just be prepared. You may be here for a while. Everyone was invited to be here around 12:30. Everyone can't be heard at 12:30. We will hear the cases in order. So just ask you to be patient as we work through these matters. We want everyone to have a fair hearing. And finally, if you are in a vehicle, you cannot drive, be moving during your hearing. Please pull over. If you aren't the driver, it doesn't matter. We need you to pull over and be in a safe place so that your case can be heard. If you cannot do that, then we will need to dispose of the matter. We will dispose of the matter, either give you a continuance or dismiss it. But we're asking you to be cooperative in that fashion. Okay. The board itself will introduce itself. We will then hear from the law department that will give us a list of matters that have been resolved or to list matters that are for which continuances have been submitted. Again, I'm Kenneth Woodson, board chair.
Ralph Pincus, board member.
Roger S. Tennant, Senior, board member.
Beverly Penn, board member.
Tim Washington, board member.
Cortez Patton, board member.
Ryan McSherry, board counsel.
Richard Wade, board administrator. And Mr. Chair, if you just want to make an announcement about several matters are going to be read as moot complied to.
Yes. Yeah, that you will do that, Mr. Wade?
No, law department's going to call a list. I just wanted to, if you wanted to make an announcement.
Yeah, we do have a list of matters that will be noted as moot complied, and others may be noted as moot. If you, as an appellant, need explanation as to the distinction between moot and moot complied, please call the administrator's office. That phone number is on the communication that you receive from the department. Someone there will explain it to you. Please do not break into a hearing to get an explanation. We want to get through all of these cases as efficiently as we can. Okay. Who's representing the law department to get us started?
Good afternoon, board members. This is Michael Rouleau, RULLO, on behalf of the city.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rouleau. What do you have for us?
Just 1 second, bring it up. Okay. First off, turning to number 18, appeal ending 324, 2011 North Howard Street, a Yule Portocola doing business as Samuel Construction Contracting Incorporated. I believe that was withdrawn by the appellant on April today.
Okay, withdrawn. Thank you.
Moving to number, excuse me.
Mr. Chairman, should we have confirmation from the board that they have a notice of the withdrawal from the staff or
Yes,
Mr. Wade?
we have a withdrawal.
Thank you, Mr. Wade.
Okay.
Turning to number 22, appeal ending 207, 2401 North Hancock Street, appellant Gabriel Polushik. I believe there was an agreement that was submitted by Ms. Curley earlier with the terms of that being a city affirm for a reduced fine of $7,000.
City affirmed 7,000 fine. Okay. Thank you.
Moving to number 24, appeal ending 031, 342 West Gerard Avenue, Ferrero Construction Group LLC. That can be marked moot.
Moot, thank you.
Okay. And I'm going to be actually reading each of these cases, subsequent cases as moot. Just wanted
Okay.
to clarify that.
Yes,
So moving to number 25, appeal ending 139, 701 Adams Avenue, La Guerra Incorporated. That can be marked moot.
okay,
Number 26, appeal ending 632, 5728 Ardley Street, 1892 Broadway Associates, care of David Damaji. That can be marked moot.
moot,
Number 27, appeal ending 674, 7101 Buste Avenue, Mary Richardson, moot. Number 28, appeal ending 682, 7423 Summers Road, Destiny Woodward, moot. Number 29, appeal ending 863, 2141 South 15th Street, Jeffrey Jackson, moot. Number 30, appeal ending 877, 3125 North 35th Street, Alan Nochumson doing business as Nochumson PC, that is moot. Number 31, appeal ending 253, 4200 Loring Street, a Granati Lavco, moot. Number 32, appeal ending 436, 6807 Woodland Avenue, a Juan Tran, moot. Number 33, appeal ending 523, 4613 Leiper Street, Stephen Humphrey, moot. Number 34, appeal ending 680, 5013 Lancaster Avenue, Natal Realty Incorporated LLC, moot. Number 35, appeal ending 861. There seems to be some errors on my file here, but it's Market Street, and the appellant is Amuddin Khan, moot. 36, appeal ending 373, 1827 East Willard Street, Frankfurt Avenue redevelopment, care of John Ross Jr., moot. 37, appeal ending 594, 3301 Ridge Avenue, a Kulraj Singh, moot. Number 38, appeal ending 137, 1441 West Somerset Street, a Fatima McKnight, moot. Number 39, appeal ending 214, 1131 West Erie Avenue, Kendall Singleton, moot. 40, appeal ending 351, 134 Chestnut Street, a Raiden Mutahar, moot. 41, appeal ending 460, 4618 Stroud Street, Diane Hartman, moot. Number 42, appeal ending 954, 5210 Lindbergh Boulevard, a 1829 Broadway Associates, care of David Damaji, moot. Number 43, appeal ending 212, 42 East Sharpnack Street, Troy Whitney. I believe that was withdrawn by the appellant in an email to the board on March 6th.
okay. Notice withdrawn.
Number 44, appeal ending 224, 2752 North Taylor Street, Freddie Murphy, moot. Number 45, appeal ending 747, 1333 Snyder Avenue, Dmitry Starmoninsky, doing business as FWBK LLC, moot. Number 46, appeal ending 071, 2834 Unruh Avenue, Amanda Pope, moot. 47, appeal ending 200, 4608 North Penn Street, Maria Rivera, moot. Number 48, appeal ending 202, 4507 Frankfurt Avenue, Karen Fan, moot. Number 49, appeal ending 233, 5410 Wayne Avenue, Carlos Geraldo, moot. Number 50, appeal ending 242, 3128 Whitehall Street, John Foley, moot. Number 51, appeal ending 274, 956 North 8th Street, Stephen Gastrite, moot. Number 52, appeal ending 305, 7387 Wheeler Street, Lorenzo Jones, moot. Number 53, appeal ending 340, 2086 East Clementine Street, Frankfurt Avenue redevelopment, care of John Ross Jr., moot. Number 55, appeal ending 350, 920 East Price Street, Stephen Frempong, moot. Number 56, appeal ending 548, 2977 Frankfurt Avenue redevelopment, care of John Ross Jr., moot. Number 57, appeal ending 620, 11709 Bustleton Avenue, Daniel Winter, moot. Number 58, appeal ending 667, 3428 Amber Street, Frankfurt Avenue redevelopment, care of John Ross Jr., moot. Number 59, appeal ending 767, 7423 Belden Street, a Jin Ji Zhu, moot. Number 60, appeal ending 979, 5242 Dittman Street, a Daniil Tarashenko, moot. Number 61, appeal ending 071, 2937 Whitehall Street, Frankfurt Avenue redevelopment, care of John Ross Jr., moot. 62, appeal ending 286, 2168 Bennett Road, and Alex Kuerchevsky, moot. Number 63, appeal ending 323, 135 North 53rd Street, Robert S. Wing, moot. Number 64, appeal ending 603, 1823 South 5th Street, William Schuster, moot. Number 65, appeal ending 673, 6030 Yoakum Street, a Sami Mustafa Azab, moot. Number 66, appeal ending 721, 2557 North 17th Street, Holly Villarreal, moot. 67, appeal ending 723, 1500 Vine Street, Helen is PennDOT, moot. 68, appeal ending 916, 1427 South 32nd Street, Robert Johnson Jr., moot. Number 69, appeal ending 963, 1919 South Warnock Street, a Jessica Q, might be mispronouncing that probably, can be marked moot. And then 1 second, need to adjust my chart here. Number 71, appeal ending 212, 3400 Bering Street. Appellant is an MMAG Properties LLC. That can be marked moot. That does the preliminary list of reading the moot items. I do have one additional item on my behalf before turning
Okay.
it to the other attorneys. Directing the board's attention to number 21, appeal ending 031, 5000 Richmond Street, Blue Rock Construction Incorporated, represented by Kevin Fogarty. I'm not sure if Mr. Fogarty is here.
Okay, he hasn't responded, so
Cheryl Pincus.
what is the matter you'd like to present?
We believe that we had a settlement in place that was not sent to the board yet, and we have not had a communication response from Mr. Fogarty yet. I guess at this point, we would ask that this be continued.
Okay, continue. Is it possible that the two of you will be able to communicate today before we complete our list?
I do not know. I know
Okay,
that there were
well, let's
multiple
keep it
communications.
open. Mr. Rulo, let's do this. Let's keep it open and we'll call it in order. And if need be, we'll continue that time.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Okay,
Mr.
anyone
Chairman.
else have any matters? As usual, please use the raised hand sign if you have any additional matters for preliminary matters. Okay. Ms. Nessich?
Good afternoon, Chairman Woodson. I have a couple of matters that I'd like to read into the record.
Okay,
Case number 7, 1837 Montrose Street.
yes.
The last four digits of the appeal are 5200, appellant David Kirchblum. That NOD was rescinded by the Water Department and communicated to the petitioner.
So it's rescinded?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right.
Next cases 8 through 11, 5698 Rising Sun Ave, Crown Bakeries LLC. There's 4 different case numbers attached to that. It's 4729.
Okay, just for a moment, Ms. Nessich, there's an
Yes, sir.
echo in your, I'm not sure, something's happening in your space.
You've got an echo?
Yes,
Okay, why don't we allow one of the other law department attorneys to go, and I'll see if I can resolve it, and I'll get back to you with my
Okay.
list.
all right, thank you. Ms. Reinhardt, Michelle Reinhardt.
Oh.
Ms. Reinhardt, are you have your hand up, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
good afternoon. I have 4 continuance requests
Okay.
that have been communicated to the board. The first one was number 19. That is appeal ending 3227037 Ridge Avenue, Travis Seal. This violation notice was issued to a corporate entity, and I understand that they do not currently have counsel, so have requested a continuance, and I do not oppose.
Okay. Is Travis Seal available? Anyone present? Travis Seal. Okay. We will for the record, we'll note it as continued.
Miss Reinhardt, if I may, the appellant did list an attorney on their appeal, and then I noticed in your comment over to us, they said they didn't know they needed an attorney. How is it they knew to list an attorney on their appeal, but then when it comes to the hearing date, they didn't know they needed an attorney? Did you have that conversation?
I did not have that conversation specifically with them. They just explained that they did not realize that they needed one. I can say that I called the attorney's office that was listed on their appeal form, who said they did not represent them. And I contacted additional other offices who they thought may also represent them, and they confirmed they did not before appellant themselves confirmed that they do not have one for this case yet.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Johnson, Christopher Johnson.
I'm sorry, I still have 3 others, but
Oh,
I'm
you
not
do?
sure
Oh, I'm sorry.
whether this one was actually ruled on.
Okay, my apologies. I didn't realize that. So we will note that number as continued on 7037 Ridge Avenue. Okay. What are the other matters, Ms. Reinhardt?
Thank you. The next one is number 23. This is appeal ending 269 regarding 2011 North Howard Street, appeal submitted by Jim Jankiewicz. Again, appellant continuance request in order to, because I guess counsel is unavailable, although I have made requests to determine who counsel is and have not received a response yet.
Okay, but for the moment, for the current record, you'd like to be continued.
I don't oppose it.
You don't oppose it. Okay, so we'll note it as continued by the based on the appellant's request.
May I ask if they are here, if they can identify who counsel is?
Okay,
Because
is
they're
anyone?
currently not of record.
Sure, absolutely. Is anyone here presently representing 2011 North Howard Street? Jim Jankiewicz. Anyone present? Okay, no one's responding, so we'll have to work that out later. You have one additional matter, Ms. Reinhardt?
2 additional, yes. The next
Okay.
one is number 54, appeal ending 348 regarding 7101 Edmund Street. This is for Yul Santos. The city witness is unavailable today, so I requested a continuance.
Okay, is Paul Santos present? 7401 Edmund Street. Or were you able to communicate that with the appellant, Ms. Reinhardt?
I sent it to the email address that was on the appeal form, but I have not received a response.
Okay, no one's responding at the moment. So for now, we will note it as continued.
Thank you. And then my last matter is number 70. This is appeal ending 109 regarding 1060th Avenue.
That's 66th Avenue, I believe.
Yes, thank you, 66th Avenue. I apologize for mispronunciation here. Chukwundo Monso and Princess Dinar. Again, the city's witness is unavailable and we have requested a continuance.
Okay, is anyone present representing 1066th Avenue? Anyone present? Okay, no one present. We will note it as continued.
Thank you.
Okay. I think I had Christopher Johnson, you still have a matter for us?
I'll take it in order.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Leonard Roder?
Thank you. May it please the board, Leonard Reuter for the city of Philadelphia. Regarding number 15 on your list, that is HA 2023-001915 5848 City Avenue. The appellant's counsel, Connor Corcoran, had previously contacted the board withdrawing this appeal, but it still got relisted. So the appeal itself has been withdrawn.
Okay, this is noted. Mr. Wade, do we have that in our record, the withdrawal?
I'd have to check.
Okay, I just want to confirm if we got, Mr. Roder, did you forward anything over to the board when that communication?
He sent it to Mr. Motto. I can forward it again. Mr. Wade, I will forward it to Mr. Wade right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
For purpose of today's record, we would note it as withdrawn. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, I just sent
Okay.
it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Do you have another matter, Mr. Roder?
I do not. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Nessich?
Thank you. Does my audio sound any better now? I changed locations.
Slightly better, and sometimes it may have more to do with your earplugs. Sometimes that just doesn't work so well for our technology, but let's see if we can power through it, okay?
Okay, I'm going to,
We want
okay,
Crown
I'm gonna
Bakeries.
power through, yes, sir. Crown Bakery, 4 numbers listed, 4729, 1625, 1624, 2093. For those matters, the appellant and the city mutually request a continuance.
Okay, these, I just need you to put the address on the record, please.
Oh, yes, sir. 5698 Rising Sun Ave.
Okay, this matter was previously reviewed in executive session on April 9th, and the continuance has been approved.
Okay, noted. Thank you. Next are cases listed 12 through 14, 2501 Margaret Street, appellant Advanced Six Resins and Chemicals LLC. 3 cases listed 5315, 4613, 5130. There, the appellant and the city mutually request a continuance for those matters as well.
Okay, these matters were also reviewed in the executive session on April 9th, and a continuance has been granted.
Thank you.
Okay,
Finally, this is listed as case number 72, but it's a water department case. It's
Yes.
4209 Longshore Ave, last 4 digits 0702. This is Anthony Samarco doing business as 4209 Investments LLC, represented by Clementa Amazon. I believe counsel is here on the call, but she's requested a continuance for this matter, and the city has no objection to that request.
okay. Ms. Amazon, are you present?
Yes, I am.
Okay, would you mind just stating your name for the record and turning on your video, please?
Oops, sorry about that. Of course, Clementa Amazon, that's spelled Clementa. Last name is Amazan.
Okay, and this is your request for continuance, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
We've been recently retained and would like a little bit more time to try and resolve this matter.
okay. All righty, thank you. We will note it as continued.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good afternoon.
You too.
Okay. All right, does anyone else have any matters preliminarily before we begin our hearings on the remaining cases? Okay, seeing none and hearing none, we will start Mr. Wade, I guess, unless there are any special requests for out of order hearing. If not, we'll start at the top.
Okay, this case number one, hearing appeal ending 5037 1919 North Fourth Street, Maria Arona.
Oh, my apologies. I skipped an important step. My apologies. There are several matters that the board itself had questions about before we start. So let me do that first. So if you strike that, I just want to quickly scan my list of preliminary matters that I did not hear about. Oh, the first one is number 20, 0034. That's 1800 East Moya Mincing Avenue, Vernon Lucas. Who's handling that for the city?
That would be me, Chairman. I apologize for missing that earlier. I
Yes.
believe that there was a continuance request,
Yes. And so,
and the city was not going to object to that.
okay, so there's no objection to the continuance request, so we will continue. Okay. Thank you. The next matter is just one moment. And actually, I think that's it. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go back up to number one, Mr. Wade.
We call in case one, hearing appeal ending 5037 1919 North Fourth Street, Maria Arona.
Okay, Ms. Nancy, is that your matter?
Yes, Chairman. Is the sound better now? I took the headphones out.
Yes, that's a little better. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to hear. Yep, Melanie Nezich for the city of Philadelphia, KNEZICH. I will be calling a witness, Erin Williams.
Okay. Is Karen Williams available?
Erin
Aaron Williams. Okay. Ms. Williams, you raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear affirm testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
I do.
All right, thank you. What about Maria Orano? Maria Orano. Mr. Wade, anyone in the waiting room or on the board?
I see a Maria Orana on the screen.
Oh, okay. Okay, Ms. Orano, it appears that you are in a vehicle. Are you moving?
No, I'm actually outside my break, so I'm sitting in my vehicle.
Okay.
I'm not moving. So.
Okay, thank you. If you raise your right hand to be sworn, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
I sure do.
All right, thank you. Okay, Ms. Nessich.
Thank you. Good afternoon again, board members. On July 27th, 2023, the Streets Department was referred a 311 complaint about a cave-in on the 1900 block of 4th Street. On August 15th, PWD performed a dye test in the street cave-in to determine the defects. The petitioner correctly notes in her appeal that a water main break occurred in the area near her property about a year prior in 2022. However, the water department performed an examination of the extent of the water main break's effects and did not find any lateral break for the property at that time. The department will aver that the water main break is unrelated to the lateral line at the property, which was served a notice of defect November 30th, 2023. And the city will call Erin Williams.
Okay.
And if I may, I'd like to share my screen.
Yes. Ms. Williams, you're muted. If you'd unmute yourself. Yeah, there you go.
Can the board see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Williams, can you see?
I can.
So, Ms. Williams, can we begin by telling the board what your position is and how long you've been in your current position?
Sure. I am Chief Water Transport Engineer of PWD's collector systems. So I oversee the operations staff responsible for the day-to-day operations of our sanitary sewer and stormwater collection systems in the city.
Okay, and I'm showing the board right now what has been previously marked City Exhibit 1, 19 pages down. This is a report that you sent along about a water main break, correct?
Correct.
Can you tell me a little bit about the timeline of the break and the work that was completed after the water main break?
Sure. So, a water main break, a 20-inch water main broke on this block on June 23rd of 2022. At that time, significant water department personnel came to location, obviously to address the water main break. My staff then came on site to assess damages to the sewer and any surrounding laterals. So that work involved extensive cleaning of our sewers. And then what we did at that time is once the sewers were clean, we dye tested the hole that was in the ground caused by the water main break to determine if that water and dye then showed into any of the nearby laterals or sewer. And that would indicate that there was a defect in either our sewer or any of the privately owned laterals. The results of that examination back in June of 2022 were 3 defective laterals. And that was confirmed when we put a CCTV inspection camera into our sewer while we were dye testing the hole in the street caused by the water main break. The sewer was in good condition, but we did identify 3 defective laterals that were subsequently referred to a contracted plumber by the department for repair. So that was back in June of 2022. And then we have the present case. So if you scroll down just a little bit, so we could see the image. What I have boxed in red there is you can see the extent of the surface street repair resulting from the water main break. Now those limits that you see where there's like fresh asphalt, I do want to say that like the repair work underground is not as large as what you see on the street surface. We tend to like want to repair the asphalt and blacktop more than what we're doing to the water main underground. But just as a visual to where then you now see the cave-in in front of 1919 and 1921 that developed about a year later and was referred to us for examination.
Right. Just to follow up on the initial examination that the water department performed in 2022, was the property in question 1919 identified as one of the laterals affected?
No, it was not.
Okay. And I'm going to scroll down a little bit more to City 1, page 21. Can you show us what we're looking at here, Ms. Williams?
So
Or-
so what you can see in this picture here, this is from our CCTV camera in the sewer, and this is from the date that you see, October 2nd, 2023, was another CCTV inspection that we completed when the cave-in in front of 1919 was referred to us for examination. And so we first put our standard protocol is to dye test the cave-in with water and green dye. And then we see where that dye is coming through. You can still see a little bit of, because prior to this blue dye coming through, which I'll explain in a minute, you can see that residual green dye was coming through 1919's, well, coming through this lateral that you can see. So that indicated that there is a defect allowing water and dye to come into the lengths of pipe that make up this property's lateral. The second step in the examination is then the crew confirms the property's lateral, like who it belongs to, by putting a different color dye into the fresh air inlet that's in the sidewalk. And then looking at the property and saying, okay, this property is 1919. I'm putting blue dye into the fresh air inlet. And then we observe in the sewer which lateral it comes from. So if you scroll up just a little bit, again, they called out this property, 1919, blue dye into the fresh air inlet, and it showed into that one. And in a previous picture, you could see that there was a great deal of green dye coming through from when we dye tested the cave in.
Just for clarity, say if you go back, I just want to make sure I'm seeing it correctly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's another good one.
Yeah, I can show those in just a second. We'll go back to the ones we were first talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, just want to, yeah, here.
Yes.
1919 is to the right, or is it,
Yes,
what's the
so you-
address?
you see-
What's the other address that we're
So
comparing it
that
to?
one in the middle there is an abandoned lateral. So you
Okay.
can see the one immediately on the left is 1921. It looks like metal pipe. That's 1921's. The
Okay,
one in the middle, which looks like that light orange color, that's an abandoned, unused lateral. And then the one behind that metal where the cursor is now is 1919's.
oh, okay, I'm glad I asked because I didn't realize there were three. Okay,
Yeah.
and Ms. Nesich, if you could just scroll to the next image that you showed earlier, I just want to be able to, okay, so this is in fact that one that was hidden before, it now has the blue water coming out of it.
Yeah, we're zoomed in more so that you could actually
Yes.
see it behind
Okay.
that other one. Yep.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I think I might just have one or two more photos that might contextualize this
Yeah.
too. This is another one. Ms. Williams, if you could explain this one again.
Yep. This is kind of the same thing. We probably, because there was 3 laterals there, we were trying to make sure we had them properly identified. So this is same procedure. This time though, they did red dye from the FAI of 1919, and you can see red dye coming through that same lateral. So we feel very confident that this particular lateral, we're in the sewer, we don't know exactly where we are, belongs to 1919.
Okay,
Finally, I am just going to scroll up to City 1, page 1. And are you familiar with this documentation, Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Can you explain what the NOD is and if it were was correctly issued?
Yeah, this is our standard notice of defect that we issue to properties when either our CCTV crews or our field crews determine that a lateral is defective. So it just it lists the property that was determined to be defective. On the right-hand side where it says dye placed in curbside vent at 1919, dye shows in sewer lateral from 1919, an unused lateral in front of 1921. That's that clay, the one in the middle that I was referring to. But the one that was showing, we did confirm positively that lateral, the metal lateral, cast iron lateral, belonged to 1919. The boxes below, dye placed in nearby street cavity, dye showed in sewer lateral from 1919, is the first step in the diagnostic process where we put green dye and water into whatever the defect is at the street surface to determine what is defective in letting water in and therefore causing the street to collapse or cave in.
Ms. Williams, I have no further questions.
okay. Ms. Arona, do you have any questions for Ms. Williams based on her testimony?
I don't know, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm new to the Zoom, that's why. So I apologize.
Mhm.
I don't have any questions at the moment, no.
Okay, so we'll move on, and then in a moment you'll be able to present your understanding of what's going on. Ms. Nesich, any additional witnesses?
No, Chairman, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Arona, this is your appeal, so tell us the basis of your appeal.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone.
Mhm.
I am here appealing this case, because I have bought my home back in 21. And I've never had an issue with anything from the city or nothing in that nature. Now, if you notice, there's all this new construction going around my home. I'm the only house standing, and all I had was empty lots around me. I'm very curious to try to understand how I'm going to be responsible for something when I've been complaining back since 2022 on these construction trucks getting on my sidewalk, porta potties, days after days, weeks after weeks. That hole that they were showing in the picture, that hole was that small, she's right. But not covering after they did their work, and all these trucks still standing on top of there, the street caving underwater, streets for hours. And just recently I've been also filing tons of complaints because there was still water going into my basement due to that hole that's outside that they were showing in the picture. It became way bigger. And why? Because when they did that hole, they didn't cover it right. All these trucks kept standing there. So that's why that sinkhole got as huge as it did. I wish I can send, oh, I didn't know I would have to like send more stuff because I didn't even have my Zoom
Well,
information.
Ms. Orana, to
Yeah.
be clear though, what we're dealing with here is whether or not your sewer lateral,
Yeah.
that runs from your house to the sewer main is defective.
Mhm.
And the homeowners are responsible for defective laterals. Have you hired a plumber or anyone else to evaluate it, determine if it's defective?
Actually, no, because I'm going through by the paperwork that was sent to me
Okay, so
through
if
the
you have,
water department.
okay, now you've submitted an appeal, so it's
Yes, I
your
did.
burden to prove your case. Now, the other part of this, if you believe that the water department and or the city are responsible for the damage, then you may have some legal recourse. So you may want to consult an attorney. But for today's hearing, it's all about whether or not the water department correctly identified your address as the source of the defective lateral. You understand?
Again, I am new to this. I lived here all my life and
No,
I've
no, but
never
I'm asking you if
went
you
through
understood
nothing
what
like this. So I'm not sure
I'm asking you, do you understand what I just said?
about hiring someone to check my lateral.
No, let me repeat it again. The
Okay.
case that we're dealing with today is to
Mhm.
determine whether or not the water department correctly identified your sewer lateral as being defective. That's why we're here today. The other issues that you have may in fact be legitimate, but that's not for us to decide. That may be something between yourself and your lawyer and or your elected official who can help you with that. But the issue of your defective sewer lateral, and and if you need to determine if you believe that your lateral was defect was caused by some other action, you need evidence of that. So that means you need to hire your own plumber to help you with that.
I have a question though.
No. Before you, ma'am, before you get to the
Okay.
question, did you understand what I just said?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What else would you like to share with us?
I'm so disoriented because I'm really disappointed. The water department came out and cut my water illegally on a Saturday.
Miss
Because
Orana, that's not part of today's case. Okay. This isn't the place for general levels of legitimate complaints about the water department.
when we're not educated in this part and we don't have no one helping us through this process, I'm only sending in what I think I knew. I didn't even receive this paper until I called to request for it. Because if I would have, I probably would have understand it better.
Okay.
It's not fair to a homeowner to not understand this right and then just come to a hearing and just hear all this stuff.
Okay. But now you've chosen to appeal. So when you appeal something, then it's your responsibility to present your information and your facts. And as the homeowner, you're responsible for determining if in fact the city is correct. I mean, it could be wrong. So that's why you have your own plumber check it out and tell you whether or not it's actually defective.
So
Now-
they just go around and let us know if our plumbing is defective, and then we have to find a way to get it fixed, even
Yes, ma'am.
though
That's the
we
responsibility of the
are
homeowner.
But okay, and I absolutely agree on that. But what I disagree is the way I've been totally disregarded, and it got as far as this point.
Okay. You may want to call someone, and I'm not sure if Ms. Williams is the person at the water department or someone else, to register your complaints if you feel that the water department has not properly responded to your concerns.
It's really hard to do that because I have tried. I have tons of numbers.
Okay, let's do this. Ms. Nessich, because we have a long list today. Ms. Nessich, is there anyone, before we vote on this matter, is there anyone that Ms. Orana can speak with that would help her fully appreciate the process and give her some information?
Yeah, I don't have a specific name right now, but Miss Orona, if you want, I can contact you after this hearing and we can be in touch and speak more about this so that you can get the correct information that you need to move forward. Okay?
That would be great. I would
Okay.
appreciate
Okay.
it very much.
Okay.
Okay.
I have your contact info from the appeal and I will reach out to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Nessich. Okay, we will call the vote on HA 2023-005037. 1919 North 4th Street, Maria Orano, City of Fern.
Maybe
What's that
affirm.
mean? What's that mean?
We're voting. We're voting, so we have to get through the voting process.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, actually, let me do this. Strike that vote. City of Fern with 120-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed with 120-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed with 120-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed with 120 days stay of enforcement.
City of, excuse me, city affirmed with 100-day stay of enforcement, 120-day stay of enforcement.
I concur with the chairman.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Orano, what we've just done is vote on your appeal. You denied your appeal. However, we've given you 120 days and we've asked the city not to take any additional enforcement action for at least 120 days to give you an opportunity to figure out with some assistance from the water department as to your next steps, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir. I appreciate everyone on the board.
Yes,
Mr.
now you
Rooney-
have a right, let me finish. You have a right, ma'am, to appeal any decision of the board. And so
I
if you need
will.
information as to how to appeal our decision, call the administrator's office and they will give you the information that you need, okay?
Administrator.
Mr.
Okay,
Chair,
thank you.
Yes, sir.
let me just, if I may add, you may want to call your city council office representative and see if they have someone there who might be able to assist you in getting clarity on this.
You know, I have visited her office a couple times because of that pothole in front of the house, all the water that was going into my basement. I also asked her about the Zoom information for this meeting, and I wasn't able to get much assistance either.
It's the suggestion that I made.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a good afternoon. You excuse. Your witness is excused unless
Okay,
she's
thank
needed
you.
for the next hearing.
No, thank you. If Miss Williams could be excused, thank you.
Okay. Miss Williams, you're excused.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Wade.
Case number 2, hearing appeal ending 4969. 334 Leverington Avenue, Nicholas Bertino.
Okay, Ms. Nessich, I assume this is yours as well,
Yes, sir.
and your witness for this case?
I would like to call Mr. Frank Francesco.
Okay. And we have listed here legal counsel, Michael Adler. Is that person present?
No, he is not.
You are, sir?
My name is Nicholas Bertino.
Okay. And your relationship to this property, Mr. Bertino?
House owner.
I can't hear you.
I am the house owner.
Okay, is anyone else's name on the deed in addition to yours?
Elena Genorio,
Who is that?
fiance.
Okay. So you own it as tenants in common?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
The legal, strike that question. Mr. McSherry, given that they are not married, do we have any issues here?
I mean, we would really need to kind of, I would need to, let me see if I can take a look. I would need to see the deed to see kind of the ownership interests of both individuals, and if they each own it, as you said, tenants in common, if they each have the same ownership interest in the property.
Okay. Before you do that, Mr. McSherry, Mr. Bertino, you listed in Loria, Michael Adler, is that person no longer representing your interests?
When I told him about when the case was, he wasn't able to attend it due to a vacation. And I didn't know if I could reschedule for a continuance, so I
Okay. But you would prefer to have him represent your interests, is that correct?
Yes, I would.
Okay, I think Mr. McSherry and Ms. Nesbitt, unless you have an objection, I'm going to suggest that we continue this matter so that his counsel can represent him.
The city has no objection.
Okay, Mr. Bertino, we're going to continue this matter so your lawyer can represent your interests.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing, do you and your the other owner own it as an LLC or as individually?
Individuals.
Okay.
We're not a
Okay.
corporation.
Okay. Given that you have a lawyer, let's continue this so your lawyer can represent your interests. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. The administrator will get back to you with a new date.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. What's the next matter?
Case number 3, hearing appeal ending 3033, 5728 North Marvine Street, Steve Frempong.
Okay. Who's representing the city?
Melanie Nezich for the City of Philadelphia Water Department.
Okay.
We would like to call Jason Locke as witness for this
Okay.
matter.
All right. Before I swear Mr. Locke in, I want to make sure that we have our appellant, Steve Frempong. Sir, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Can't hear you. Okay, Mr. Wade, do we have anyone who can talk to Mr. Frempong? Hopefully get him connected.
He was on 2 devices. I can have,
Yeah, it looks like he's saying he's on the phone as well. He's holding his cell phone.
Okay. We're going to have to, Ms. Nesich and Mr. Frempong, we're going to skip this matter and pass this until you can get connected and move on to the next case because we can't hear you.
Okay,
I
I
know
will just note that this case was marked must be tried. It's been continued.
Oh, yeah, we'll deal with it today. It's just
three
that,
times. Okay.
yeah, we'll
Yep.
deal with it today. It's just that we need to be able to hear him. So,
Understood, just making a note of that.
yep. Okay, Mr. Wade, if you could just note, I'm going to pass this and come back, okay?
yeah. Case number 4, hearing appeal ending 5057, 6607 Sylvester Street, Winnie Wong.
Okay. And city's representation?
Melanie Nezich for the City of Philadelphia Water Department.
Okay,
And-
Melanie Wong. I'm
Winnie
sorry, my
Wong.
apologies. Winnie Wong. Winnie Wong. Winnie Wong. Okay, is
I don't-
anyone?
I'm checking service and it doesn't, the address doesn't match what was put on the appeal.
Oh, okay.
If you want to continue it for set.
Yeah, we got some issues, Ms. Nessich, with service in this matter. And the person is not apparently present. And so we don't want to dismiss it if there was a mistake made in service.
This is service of the appeals correspondence from
yes.
the board administrator?
Yes.
Okay, understood.
So we're going to need to confirm service and reissue the date. So we will note it for today's record as continued and reissue. Thank you. Okay, let's try again, Mr. Wade.
Case number 5, hearing appeal ending 05, hearing appeal ending 5212, 2543 West Seltzer Street, Anthony Hamilton.
Okay, city.
Melanie
appearance.
Nezich for the City
Okay.
of Philadelphia. I
Let's
would
see
like
here.
to call Anthony Hamilton as witness if the petitioner is here.
Okay, well, there's,
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the name wrong. The petitioner is Anthony Hamilton. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
okay, is Anthony Hamilton present?
Service was made.
Service was made. Anyone in the waiting room, Mr. Wade, with that name or
No.
on the board at all? Okay. All righty. What time do you have, Mr. Pincus?
1:49 PM.
1:49 p.m. Okay. What is your preference then, Ms. Nessich?
I'll go with the board's recommendation.
Well, I mean, in this instance, the appellant is not present. Service has been confirmed. And so would you like the board to rule on it?
Yes, and if they choose to rule, I would ask that the board affirm the city.
Okay. All right, we will pull the board on HA-2023-005-212 2543 West Seltzer Street, Anthony Hamilton, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's
In
move
that
on.
case, Chairman, could you
Yes.
excuse my anticipated witness for Seltzer Street, which is William Patterson?
Yes, he may be excused. He's excused.
Thank you.
Okay, what's the next one, Mr. Wade?
Case number 6.
Okay,
Hearing appeal ending 4998 1448 North Felton Street. Cheryl Gaskerville.
okay, represent, appearance for the city?
Melanie Nezich.
Okay, Cheryl Gaskerville.
I believe it's actually Baskerville. There may have been a typo. I
Okay.
believe the appellant's name is Baskerville.
Okay, Cheryl Baskerville. Either Baskerville or Gaskerville, 1448 North Felton Street. Anyone present? Anyone present?
Service was made.
Okay, Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
1:51 PM.
1:51 PM. All right, Ms. Nesich, what is your pleasure?
The city would ask that you affirm the NOD.
Okay, thank you. We'll pull the board on HA 2023-004-998-1448 North Felton Street. And before I pronounce the name for the record, Mr. Wade, would you confirm the name,
Baskerville.
please? Baskerville? Okay.
Yes.
The appellant is Cheryl Baskerville, Baskerville. City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
Okay,
City
thank you.
affirmed non-appearance. Excuse me. City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's go back to Mr. Frimpong. See if do we have him connected, Mr. Wade?
I had staff reaching out. I don't know if they've made contact yet.
Okay, he's muted at the moment. So we can unmute him and see if he's connected.
Send them a prompt.
Okay, Mr. Frimpong, can you hear us? But we can't hear you. Is your volume up at all?
I was gonna say, sir, tap your microphone icon with your finger. Bottom left of your phone.
Mr. Terrell, did you speak directly with Mr. Frimpong?
Not earlier, I did connect him before the hearing started, and he was fine.
Okay. I tell you what, would you mind calling him again? Because his matter must be heard today. And so I don't want technology to prevent us from ruling on this today.
Okay, no problem. Just give me a few minutes.
Okay, please do that. In the meantime, we'll move ahead. Mr. Wade, let's move down the list. I think 16 is next. Or is it 15?
16 and 15 was withdrawn. 16 and 17 were in a breakout room. I don't know if they've. I believe they returned.
Okay, I see Mr. Lopez Thompson.
Okay.
Who was the listed as counsel for 16.
Hi, this is Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson. How are you? Are you
Awesome.
you representing these two
There's
matters?
a mentorship that he got to take. Was he willing to take it?
Okay, someone should be muted. Who is that?
Yes, I'm representing the city in these two matters. The city is ready to go forward. I would say that for both of these appeals, the city is going to request that they be heard in a consolidated way because there's background information that pertains to both appeals.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, just put your name on the record for
Good
this matter.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lopez Thompson on behalf of Johnson Construction Company.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Thompson, do you have any objection to consolidating these into one matter?
We do not.
Okay, thank you. Now, when we vote on them, we will vote on them separately, but we will hear them, assuming the facts as they're played out by the city are applied to both of them. And please, be very specific where there's distinction so that we can make a record. Okay?
Very well.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, do you have a witness for today?
I have two witnesses in this matter. The first one is a representative from the Streets Department, Kyle Lewis, and the other one is Detective Maureen Berner. Both are on the call. And
Okay.
I would just say as a preliminary matter, you're going to see evidence related to a company, Johnson Construction, that's held themselves out as a hauling and clean out company. And they have a vehicle that's a dump truck. You're going to see video of which the dump truck being used for the purpose of illegally dumping trash and debris. And there's also been the background here is that there was a dumping incident back from February of 2022 that resulted in a notice of violation going out, which the city brought to court in May of 2022. The court ordering them to refrain from the activity by order of court, I believe was in September of 2022. Both of these incidents happened even after the court had ordered them to stop. And that's going to be a little bit of background. I'm going to try and get through it as quickly as possible, and then we can get to these two incidents.
Okay, thank you. Before you start, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Thompson, will your client be present?
My client is present.
Okay, and will he be testifying at all?
He will be, and we also have Anthony Godwin.
That person will also be testifying?
That is correct.
Okay. I just ask your client to make himself known because I want his image to be as close to yours as possible in his Zoom call, unless he's in your office.
No, he is separate. He's listed as Gary Johnson.
President, I'm here.
Oh, and is Gary Johnson his name?
That is correct.
Okay. And Mr. Johnson, just one small bit of advice. If you need to confer with Mr. Thompson as your legal counsel, let us know. We can put you in a breakout room. I would advise you to pay attention to his directions. You paid for a lawyer. Please get your money's worth. Pay attention. Understood?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Johnson, please proceed.
The city is going to call Kyle Lewis.
Okay. Kyle Lewis, if you raise your right hand, you unmute, please. You need to unmute, please. Okay. Do you swear affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to help you God?
I do.
Okay. All righty. Thank you. You can place your hand down.
So, Ms. Lewis, can you please tell the board where you're employed?
I'm employed with the City of Philadelphia, the Sanitation Division.
And what's your position in the Sanitation Division?
My position is twofold. My position is the Recycling Program Director, and I'm also the Chair of the Cleaner Public Spaces Enforcement Committee, which is an intergovernmental agency that is aligned to combat illegal dumping and enforce cleaner public space violations.
And how long have you been in that position with the Cleaner Public Spaces Subcommittee?
I have been in this position for about 4 years.
Are you familiar with a business entitled Johnson Construction Company?
Yes, I am.
And how did you become familiar with that entity?
I became familiar with them through seeing videos of the Johnson Construction Company truck dumping at 20th and Lippincott. I've seen them. I've seen that truck in a couple of illegal dumping videos over the course of my time in this position.
And can you tell us, as far as the city, where does the city get these videos?
The city gets these videos. We have cameras that are mounted in different areas throughout the city. Some of them are police cameras, some of them are streets and sanitation department cameras, but there are a network of cameras throughout the city that the entire city, the police department, the streets department uses to surveil our streets and to monitor dumping activity.
Now, I'm going to share my screen if it please the board.
Yes, please.
I've submitted a packet of documents that's marked City Exhibit C1. And what I'm showing is the first page of that packet of documents.
Excuse me, Mr. Johnson, this is Board Counsel Ryan McSherry. I don't believe I'm looking through the documents that were submitted to the board, and I'm not seeing any exhibits submitted on behalf of the city for this appeal or number 17 either.
I sent them prior to today's hearing to Mr. Wade.
Let's ask Mr. Lopez Thompson. Do you have those documents?
I do not.
I can send them to Mr. Thompson now if it please the board.
Yes, please do. Do we have a major mix-up here?
Mr. Wade, have you received these exhibits? And if so, could you please forward them to me?
Mr. Chair, is it possible that we can take a break?
Okay,
Right now, I mean, I would like for the board to meet.
Okay, just 1 second. Yeah, just 1 minute. What we will do, just for a moment, have a request, which we always honor for executive session. We're going to go off the record for about 3 minutes. While we're doing that, if Mr. Wade, Mr. Thompson, and Mr. Johnson could sort of work this matter out regarding the documents.
I just forwarded them to Mr. McSherry as well as Mr. Thompson.
Okay, all right, we're going to go off the record now, and when we come back, I want to hear if there are any issues based on this small matter. Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Kelly, we're going. Thank you. We're back on the record. I understand that after conferring with counsel and the administrator that the package has now been sent over, which includes a video, and we have not seen the video because it hasn't yet been downloaded. Mr. Thompson, you're muted, but I want to know if you're comfortable proceeding. Do you have everything?
I do not, but you know, and consistent with the notice from the board, you know, if we had appeared and we were going to present evidence in terms of exhibits, we would have had to do that 3 days prior to the day's hearing. If
Correct.
the board did not receive these documents 3 days prior, I would ask the board to avoid receiving any documents from city, and consistent with your notice of
Well, what we're prepared to do today, Mr. Thompson and Mr. Johnson, is to be consistent with how we have normally operated. We want to make sure the appellant, as well as the city, has a fair opportunity to present their case. And so what we can do, we are prepared to dismiss this matter, but we can and are willing to continue it and come back at a different time after everyone has had an opportunity to review the evidence in the case.
I think that would be, you know, again,
Okay.
You know, I will point out there's no formal discovery in this process, and you know, typically for eons, people have showed up at the hearings and presented evidence before the board. If we had in-person hearings, as we always had, no one had an opportunity to see the evidence prior to. If Mr. Thompson had requested the documents, I would have sent it to him as soon as he asked.
Okay.
With that said, I would ask that if the board is going to continue the matter, to do a continuance of the shortest possible time, I would suggest the next listing, I think, would be the Tuesday after next, being the 23rd.
Okay. Well, Mr. Johnson, your objection, well, I'll take your comments as an objection, as and noted for the record. We will continue this matter and ask that Mr. Wade will give a short rehearing notice so that we can get it on as quickly as possible. We have no interest in stringing this out or having all the parties come back over an extended period. We want to hear this as quickly as we can to get it resolved one way or the other. And so, Mr. Wade, if you could do that.
Actually, yeah, I would like to request, I know that Detective Berner is going to be out of the office until May 1st. So
Okay.
it would be the first listing in May.
Okay. Mr. Wade, did you know that? You're
Mr.
muted. He's muted.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I believe the notice says that you're supposed to provide any evidence, as Mr. Thompson has pointed out, 3 days prior to the hearing. And I believe that applies both to appellants and to the city. And I'm not sure I'm understanding why Mr. Johnson is suggesting that the city doesn't have that same obligation to supply that any evidence to the appellant 3 days prior to the hearing. Did I hear you objecting, Mr. Johnson?
Well, in fairness, I'm not sure the city ever gets a copy of that notice.
Okay. Well, let's do this. It's certainly, I would think, common sense, and it would be a sort of appropriate and professional way to do it is to make sure all the parties have all the evidence in advance of the hearing. And so that's established. We'll continue to operate that way. And that's what we will do today. And since the evidence has not been presented early enough, and we don't even have a complete record for the administrator, we're going to continue both these matters. That's 001558. 4500 Warnock Street and 001559 1000 Stella Street. They will be continued until the first available hearing in May, when I think Mr. Johnson's witness is available. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Let's move on. Okay, Mr. Wade, what do we have next?
Case number 21, hearing appeal ending 0031 5000 Richmond Street, Blue Rock Construction Incorporated.
Okay. Who's representing the city? Appearances, please. Ms. Curley, you representing the city in this matter?
Hi, this is Caroline Curley on behalf of the city. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, some issue.
Okay, who's here representing 5000 Richmond Street?
So, board, I've been in communication with an attorney, Kevin Fogarty, who I believe was entered on as the attorney on the appeal for this matter. Mr. Fogarty and I had extensive conversations. We entered into a settlement agreement. I'd sent that to him yesterday for his signature. He indicated he would get back to me, and as of today, I have not received that back from me, nor has he responded to any of my outreach. So I actually have no idea, what's happened since yesterday.
Okay, so we have a pending settlement. So what we will do then is continue it for today then.
Thank you. And I'll forward that to the board as soon as I expect it to be signed. I don't know what happened in the interim, but
Okay. All right, thank you. All right. Let's move on. Is Mr. Frimpong set up yet?
I believe he is.
Okay, let's go back to his matter then.
I believe this is the last matter.
Okay.
Case number, Mr. Frempong. Can you hear us? Mr. Frempong.
R9 on your phone, sir, to unmute. I was literally just on the phone with him.
Okay. Mr. Frimpong. We can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you.
*6 or *9 on your device.
We don't hear you. Is this the last matter, Mr. Wade?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I want to do this. While Mr. Frimpong is trying to get connected, I need to have an executive session on this matter with legal counsel.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
He is also, it says Mr. Fonbon's phone and is muted.
Okay. Ms. Terrell, IT person, is communicating with him, hopefully to get him connected. That's why I need to have us to have a conversation with Mr. McSherry. So if we could do that. Kelly, be ready to go back on the record.
Okay.
Mr. Frimpong, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. Miss Nessich, we have a bit of an echo and a problem here, so we're going to try to get through this. So if you don't mute yourself, Ms. Nessich.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Woodson.
Okay. So let's do this. Mr. Wade, if you would read the case in, and then we will try to get through this hearing. Just for the record, Mr. Frimpong is, we see his audio, I believe, on his computer or laptop, and we have his telephone for his audio. The video on the computer, audio on the telephone. Okay, thank you. Ms. Wade?
Recalling case number 3. Hearing appeal ending 3033, 5728 North Marvine, Steve Frimpong. Mr. Frimpong, you have to unmute your phone.
We just did it, sir. It's *6.
Do it again because it didn't take.
Remember, it's the star, not the #6.
Okay, there it is. Yes. Okay, now do this, Mr. Frimpong. Turn the audio of your computer off. And if need be, turn off your computer. We'll just deal with you through the telephone.
I put him in. I put the audio in the waiting room, so he's only
Okay. Mr. Frimpong, you still with us?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We're going to talk to you only on your telephone. So you need to be aware, just be patient, and we'll let you know when it's your opportunity to speak. Understood?
I will do everything that you need me to do.
Okay, at the moment, I'd like you to raise your right hand so that you may be sworn in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. All righty. Ms. Nessich, do you have any witnesses?
I do, Chairman. The city would like to call Jason Locke.
Okay, Mr. Locke?
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give to be the truth, so help you God?
I do, yes.
All right, thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you, Chairman. To begin, this is for the matter of 5728 North Marvine Street, 3033. On July 5th, 2023, the PWD went to the property in question in order to shut off service for non-payment of the water bill. As of that date, the outstanding bill was $30,346.23. The water department could not complete the shutoff as scheduled because the curb stop was obstructed in violation of Philadelphia Code 13-502. For that, the department issued a notice of defect for the property. On July 12th, on July 12th, 2023, Steve Frimpong appealed the notice without providing a reason for doing so. The matter has been continued at the appellant's request in October 2023, December of 2023, and February of 2024. The city requested that this matter be marked as must be heard at today's board hearing. The deed lists Steve Frimpong and Agnes Frimpong as owners of this property, along with 3 other properties listed on the deed. As of the most recent date of reinspection of March 2024, the curb box remains obstructed and in violation of the Philadelphia Code. The city would like to call Jason Locke as witness.
Please.
Jason, will you please state your name for the record and spell it for the board?
Yes, Jason Locke, JASON LOCK.
Thank you. Mr. Locke, could you tell us by whom you're employed and in what capacity?
City of Philadelphia, Philadelphia Water Department, Delinquency and Restoration Unit. I'm an assistant manager of the unit.
Right. If the board will allow, I'd like to share my screen, please.
Yes, please.
I'm going to make this full screen. Is this suitable?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Locke, can you see the screen as well?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Are you familiar with this document?
Yes.
Could you explain to us what this document entails?
This is the notice of defect that's sent out after we initially give the notice of defect at the door. This one will be mailed out.
Okay. Moving on to page 2. Could you describe this briefly?
Yes, this is the notice of plumber defect for the water supply system that we leave at the doorstep once we make our inspection, if we're not able to shut off the water.
Right. And you said you were from the DNR unit. Could you just reiterate what DNR is again?
Delinquency and restoration. We
Right.
do all the delinquent water bills, shut-offs, and restore water that
Right.
came current with the water bill.
Right. So if there's a delinquent bill, you'll come out and how do you access that shut off?
Access to the curb stop, curb box, sorry.
Right. Those are kind of used interchangeably?
Excuse me?
Are they kind of used interchangeably, curb stop and curb box?
The curb box is on top of the curb stop, so
Okay.
it's all one unit, yes.
Okay. Moving down, we're just scrolling through the NOD that the customer receives, correct?
Yes,
And do you normally leave it at the property?
yes, we do.
Right. And in this case, this was also sent to the PO box that was requested, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm moving on to the next page of City Exhibit 3. I believe this is the one, the customer responsibility chart that we want to look at.
Yeah, you could go back up.
Oh,
You can go
sorry.
to the pink slip, owner's responsibilities,
Okay, yeah,
right here, yep, go up.
thank you.
That's just a summary, that's the diagram.
Right. And could you, I guess, am I
Yep, number
kind of
4,
circling number
the
4?
curb stop,
Mhm.
and up, I believe number 9 is the curb box, yes.
Right, and so that's how you can access the shut-off valve to the home, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna scroll down to some photos that were submitted with this exhibit. Just a moment, sorry, okay. Here's the first photo. Mr. Locke, you took this photo during a re-inspection at the property, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm just gonna show the date and then we'll scroll down to the photo a little bit. What was the date that you took these photos?
March 23rd, 2024.
Right, and is this a fair and accurate depiction of the property located at 5728 North Marvine Street?
Yes, it is.
Okay, just scrolling down a little bit to show the rest of the photo. What are we looking at here, Mr. Locke?
Well, the cement cinders, pavers, there are actually covering an excavation or some kind of faulty repair that was supposed to have been done, I'm guessing. Then you got the
Okay.
vent box, the rusty part, and then 2 other boxes to the right. I believe are for the adjacent property.
Right, and the area that your unit attempted to access is underneath those pavers, correct?
Yes,
We're gonna scroll to the next photo that you took from that reinspection in March. This is pretty much the same thing, correct?
yes,
Moving on to the next page. Pretty much the same thing.
yes, same.
Sorry. Okay, now we're moving on to a previous reinspection.
Yes,
You also visited the property January 10th, 2024, correct?
yes, I did.
Right. So what does this photo depict? Is this a fair and accurate depiction of the curb box in front of 5728 North Marvine Street?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and describe it a little bit more for us.
Made the inspection. Had to remove pavers to get to even to the curb box. So right in that corner, this round circular thing right there. Yes, right there. That's the curb box. Obstructions in it. Shifted. It's not accessible for the curb stop. In order to
Right.
be shut off.
I'm gonna show you one more photo that you took.
Mm-hmm.
What does this photo depict?
Same picture as before. That's the curb, supposedly the curb box, multiple pieces of plastic pipe and obstructions in the bottom.
Right, so basically, when it's like this, the water department is unable to access the access point that it needs to, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I think I've got, Mr. Wade, I think you're unmuted. Okay, I think that is all that I wanted to show you. Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. And I do not have any further questions for my witness at this time.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Frampong, do you have any questions for the city's witness based on his testimony?
Sure.
Okay, what are your questions?
The first is that she said that the intent of the good is part of the water because of
Sir, you aren't.
delinquent-
Well, Mr. Frampong, speak directly into the phone and slow down because we could not
sorry.
hear your question.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, let me ask him the question. Mr. Locke, you went there
I can't really hear
because
you.
of a shut-off. You went there because of a delinquency shut-off, right?
Delinquently shut off, yes.
Okay, what is the status of that delinquency now?
Excuse me, I can't.
What he's asking, what is the size of that delinquency now?
What's the size of it?
Yeah, the amount.
What is the status of the
Status?
alleged delinquency?
That I don't have offhand right now. I would have to go and
Okay,
look at it.
if you don't, okay, fine. But
We're here
you
for the
said
violation,
also that
right?
you went, huh?
We're here for the violation.
Yeah, let's just stay on top. Given the communications issue, let's keep our responses as short as possible. Okay?
Yeah,
Mr.
but
Frampong.
but it was the background. They testified that he went there because of delinquency. So it's appropriate to ask the status of the delinquency.
Yeah, and he said he didn't have that information at this point. He doesn't
Okay, all
have
right,
the answer.
good. All right, okay, I hear you. Please. The second question. You said that you went to the inspection, the latest inspection sometime in January 2024. Is that correct?
Did I come to the property in January of 2024? Yes, for inspection of the curb box.
Did you find any tenant on that property?
Just the pictures that we shown.
No. I said, did you find any tenant on that property?
Was the property occupied?
That I don't know.
Yeah,
I
is
wasn't
the
out there
property
for that.
occupied?
We're out there
Okay.
for the violation.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay. Being that the case, I can testify.
Okay, well, just for a moment, Mr. Primphone, wait a moment. I just want to go back to the city. Ms. Nessus, do you have any additional witnesses? You're muted, ma'am. Yeah.
No, sir, I don't have any additional witnesses.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Primphone, what is the basis of your appeal? Tell us why you're appealing.
Okay. As you said, when I got this, I was shocked because I didn't understand. First, she said that the reason they went there was to shut up for delinquency. The delinquency is before tax is due board. And in fact, the last delinquency before the board, all the penalties and interests were waived, which was more than half the money, because the property has not been inspected. The water bill has not been inspected, and that property has been vacant for years.
Mr. Frimpong, wait a minute.
Mhm.
We're here because of the faulty curbs box. That's why we're here today. So why are you, well, listen to me. Why are you appealing the violation for the faulty curb box?
I am appealing because I didn't know why they went there. But more important, the problem that he's citing, I went there, and in fact, we got there to see. My understanding, the property has been vacant for years. My understanding is that Philadelphia Gas did some work in that area, and that caused that. I'm trying to find out how we can resolve this. And
have you hired a plumber, sir? Have you hired a plumber to investigate for you?
Yes, I
What
have
did the plumber
two
tell you?
plumbers. The plumber told me that there might have been an action there that shifted the curb.
Okay, but he said that the curb stop is not proper, right? He said it's broken.
That's correct.
Okay,
That's correct.
so if it's broken, that means you need to repair it.
No. I'm coming. Yeah, he said I shifted, but the point I'm saying is that my understanding is that Philadelphia Gas Works did some work there that caused that.
Okay, so that means you may have some legal action against the gas company, but in the meantime, you're the owner, so you're responsible for it.
Yeah, I don't deny that. The point that I filed is that part of the complaint was that you can also apply to get this fixed. I'm on a fixed income. I'm 78 years old. I don't have the money to fix this, so I applied to the water department. I called them several times. I have not received anything, so I'm waiting for them. But in the meantime, nobody is using the water. The property has been vacant.
Okay, Mr. Frimpong, I'm not. You may be absolutely accurate, and you may need to talk to the water department regarding the meter. That's another matter. That's not for us. That's outside of our jurisdiction. We're here to take testimony as to whether or not the water department properly wrote a violation notice for the curb stop defect, and to also hear why you have appealed it. And so that's what we're here to do today. And in a moment, we're going to hold a vote on the outcome of this case. You have anything else you want to share with us?
My point is that if there's even any need to call me, as you said, that it might have been called by somebody, but that's not the issue before the court. I would need more time to fix that because of my resources.
Okay, we've heard you. Ms. Nesich, any final argument?
I suppose I have a few questions for the petitioner, if
Yes,
that's all right
please.
with the board. Mr. Frimpong, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Do you have any tenants at 5728 North Marvine?
No, that's why I asked you. There's nobody living there. There's no.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to fix the property to live there. It's a big house that I would like to live there, but I don't have the resources now to complete the fix. We are fixing the property, but because of my
Mr. Frimpong, Mr. Frimpong, please give direct answers and please do not editorialize. Okay, just yes or no. Okay, and let the attorney ask you additional questions. Ms. Nesich?
Thank you. Mr. Frimpong, how many properties do you currently own?
About 5.
How many properties are rental properties?
That's what I told you, about 5.
How many are currently occupied?
3 of them. One has a yeah.
Do you have a vacancy license for the property at 5728 North Marvine?
Ma'am, no.
Okay. No further questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Nesich, any final argument?
Yes, Chairman. The city would ask the board to affirm the NOD in this matter. It was correctly issued per the credible testimony of Mr. Jason Locke. Mr. Frempong is a sophisticated property owner, having multiple properties across the city, and having frequent dealings with various boards, and the water department. We'd ask that you affirm this NOD. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Prepared to call the vote on this matter. 5728 North Marvine Street, HA 2023-003033, Steve Frempong, City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to accuse myself from the vote. I didn't hear the case enough to
Okay.
make a decision.
Okay.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Thank you very much. Mr. Frempong, the majority vote is city affirmed, which means you lost your appeal. You may appeal our decision. If you need information as to how to do that, call the administrator's office and they will give you the information you need to appeal this decision. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. Your witnesses, excused. You excused for today. Anything else, Mr. Wade, for today?
No.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your participation and your patience. Ms. Nesich,
Thank you,
you
Gordon.
also excused.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Penn, can I give you a call in about 15 minutes?
Yes.
Will you be available? Thank
Yeah,
you so
yeah.
much.